Thank you for joining us, and you're going to be reading Ecosystem Interactions, Unit 5, and we're going to start on page 4. If you haven't already turned there, please do. You might want to have a pencil handy as you do this reading, because you will get a preview of some of the things we're going to discuss in class. I hope you're ready to begin. 1. Pollution in plants. Studying acid rain. Every year, Sarah Nelson joins a group of scientists to travel around 6 states in the northeastern United States. They take samples of water from 74 different lakes, from the crowded suburbs of Boston to the top of the remote mountains in Maine. These scientists are measuring the amount of acid rain present in the water. Acid rain is any form of precipitation that has high levels of nitric and sulfuric acids. It is caused primarily by the burning of fossil fuels, such as gas, oil, and coal. A small amount of acid rain also comes from natural causes, including volcanic emissions and forest fires. Studying acid rain is important because too much acidity in the water harms many different living things. Acid rain is a form of pollution, any substance that has harmful effects on the environment. Why do you think Sarah Nelson and scientists test water from 74 different lakes? Acid rain harms plants. Acid rain generally doesn't kill plants directly. Instead, it damages their external structures. This makes it hard for them to grow and develop. For example, plants use their roots to anchor themselves in place and take nutrients and water from the soil. Scientists know that acidic water dissolves the nutrients and minerals in the soil and then washes them away before trees and other plants can use them to grow. Acid rain can also slow down or reduce root growth. Acid rain can also damage a plant's leaves. It can cause them to look spotted or to drop earlier than normal. This causes the plant to become weak because leaves have most of the plant's chloroplasts. When a plant's leaves are damaged by acid rain, they can no longer photosynthesize as well. Remember that leaves collect sunlight and convert it into energy the plant can use to grow and develop through photosynthesis. As you read this page, look for the ways acid rain damages a plant's external structures. You should be able to find 2 ways. If you'd like, you could number them with your pencil before going to the next page. Acid rain and a plant's life cycle. When the structures of a plant are damaged by acid rain, they are less able to complete their life cycle. A life cycle is the series of developmental stages an organism passes through on its way from birth to death. There is a pattern to the changes that all living things go through as they grow and develop. All life cycles include birth, growth, reproduction, and death. The seed is the first step in a flowering plant's life cycle. The seed protects the plant in a protective coat as it travels from its parent to a new location. With enough light and warmth from the sun, the seed will start to grow. During this step, the plant breaks out of its seed coat and begins to sprout. This is called germination. It grows roots, stems, and leaves. With leaves, it can capture energy from sunlight. As you reread page 6, can you define life cycle? Can you identify the 4 stages in a life cycle? In the 3rd step, the plant grows buds and flowers. Flowers are external structures where seeds form and where pollination occurs. Flowers attract pollinators so the plant can make new seeds. Finally, the plant produces fruits that attract animals. Some plants produce seed casings that allow the seed to travel by wind or water. This is called seed dispersal. The seeds grow and start the plant life cycle over again. Acid rain can prevent a plant's flowers from blooming or cause them to fall off the plant before they are pollinated. This affects a plant's ability to reproduce. Reproduction is the ability of a mature organism to have offspring. Without reproduction, a group of organisms will die out. Because of this, reproduction is an essential step in the life cycles of all living things. Perhaps you have seen this visual before, a flowering plant's life cycle. Seeds, growth, pollination, seed dispersal, and the life cycle starts all over again. Steps 3 and 4 of a life cycle are found on page 7. Can you find them? Conservation. Acid rain is mostly a result of humans burning fossil fuels. Once people became aware of the dangers of acid rain, they began to work to protect the environment by reducing the amount of acid rain that occurs. This is why Sarah Nelson and the other scientists collect water samples every year. They want to measure the amounts of acid rain present in the water. They compare the results to previous years to see whether the amounts have increased, decreased, or stayed the same. The scientists are working to conserve the environment. Remember that conservation is the weighing of human needs against the needs of the environment to create a sustainable way for humans to live off natural resources. The scientists have gotten good news in recent years. They've learned that acid rain was most destructive in the 1970s and 1980s. The regions they are studying have recovered more quickly than they expected. Please make sure that you have your reader for class. As you look over this page, ask yourself, how can each of us reduce the amount of acid rain that occurs? Or, what are ways we can conserve our environment? We'll be talking about these questions and more in class. Thanks for tuning in.